up, movie crew? So, I'm a little late on this video, but today I'm going to show you everything I watched during the month of November. Before I get into anything, if you are new to this channel, my name is Luke, this is Let's Watch a Movie, and if you're anything cinema and physical media related, you've come to the right place, so hit that subscribe button. Alright, before I get into the stuff from my collection, I do want to say I went to the theaters twice during the month of November, and I streamed something on Disney+. Normally, I would be at the theaters a little bit more than what I was this previous month, but with Thanksgiving going on, a couple of other holidays, I just didn't have a lot of time during the month of November. Long story short. But I did see Wakanda Forever and The Menu in theaters. Both movies I very much enjoyed. I will have a pinned comment down below for anyone that wants to check out my thoughts on those two movies. And the day after Thanksgiving, Disney Plus put up the latest installment to the Marvel Cinematic Universe, Guardians of the Galaxy Holiday Special. And I've got to say, for someone who's not the biggest fan of Christmas, that was a pretty good special feature special presentation from Marvel. And I was laughing at a time when I was not doing a lot of laughing. Alright, so without further ado, time to show off everything from my collection that I watched during the month of November. Alright, so first things first, we got Batman: The Long Halloween Deluxe Edition. Let me just say, The Long Halloween is one of my favorite comics. It is great. And both stories were pretty good when they released them in 2 parts. Unfortunately, unlike Dark Knight Returns and Death and Return of Superman, this one just feels like a cheap cash-in. Like they just spliced them together and went, here's both parts in one feature. With Dark Knight Returns, they added some scenes to connect part 1 and 2. They did something similar with Death and Return of Superman. Both of those have plenty of special features. This has 1 featurette and 4 episodes of Batman the Animated Series. Overall, I like the movie, but given what we've gotten before with the special editions, this was a bit of a letdown. Sorry to put it like that, but it is what it is. Titans Season 3. For the record, at the time of me recording this, I have not yet checked out Titans Season 4. But I've got to be honest with everyone. To me, Titans is probably one of the most mid shows that DC has. Given some of the other stuff we've gotten, this was a bit of a letdown. I don't really know where to begin with it, but there's some good stuff in here. But overall, when you look at some of the other shows that DC has, like Sandman just got greenlit, and we've got Season 2 coming. Doom Patrol, which is probably one of my favorite comic book shows on TV. I'm not trying to compare this to what Marvel's doing, or The Walking Dead, or The Boys. I'm just talking strictly DC. This one is not up to standard given what we've gotten with some of the other DC shows. Batman Unlimited Animal Instinct and Batman Unlimited Monster Mayhem. In a minute, will be getting into why you're seeing a lot of Batman-related stuff in this video. you probably already know from some of the videos that I have done recently. But after watching some of the more serious stuff, I wanted something a little more lighthearted to watch. And the Batman Unlimited stuff is just that. You got Animal Instincts where you got robot animals, you got Batman teaming up with Flash and Green Arrow to take down Penguin. In this one, you've got him trying to take down Joker. Neither of these really got a lot of attention compared to the other animated DTVs we've gotten from DC. But if you're looking for something lighthearted and family-friendly, both of these, I gotta say, are pretty good. Alright, the most difficult part of this video. If you have not seen some of my other videos, or if this is the first time that you're tuning in, one of the biggest pieces of my childhood was Batman the Animated Series, and right before I went into seeing Wakanda Forever, a friend of mine sent me a text that Kevin Conroy, the voice of Batman, passed away at the age of 66 after a short battle with cancer. So I started going through all of my Batman stuff and was just watching quite a bit of things. I'm not going to share everything because some of the stuff that I have watched in previous videos or in previous months, which I've mentioned. So I just tried to stick to the ones that are primarily Kevin Conroy is the voice of Batman, or something that I'm pretty sure I have not shared already. But we've got Mask of the Phantasm. And as I've said before, and I will say it again, this is the best Batman movie to exist. I don't mean it's the best animated movie. It is the best movie. Batman and Mr. Freeze Sub-Zero. Also, I gotta say, after watching some podcasts that Kevin Conroy was featured on, I've always kind of overlooked this one because of knowing a little bit behind the scenes stuff they've mentioned. But then hearing him talk about how much he enjoyed making this one, watching it, and then with the special features on the back, you can see like the episode order as well as the movie itself, made for a really good watch. So I would highly recommend picking this up or the complete series, where you can watch all of them in order, and they've even got the list. The Batman Superman movie, and I've got the 2-movie combo pack that features the Batman vs. Dracula. Alright, the main reason that I picked this one up is because of the Batman Superman movie, aka World's Finest Part 1, Part 2, and Part 3, from Superman the Animated Series. This is where we first see Batman and Superman meet and team up in the DCAU. And it is one of the best interactions between Batman and Superman that you will ever get. Since it's on the same disc, I did also watch the Batman vs. Dracula. It was a fun movie. I definitely have grown to have a little bit more appreciation for the Batman animated series over the years, because I always thought, well, it's not Batman the animated series, it's just some new thing that they got and they're doing all. When you get past some of the changes that are made, it's not a bad series, and the movie itself is actually really good and holds up to some of the other animated movies out there. Batman Mystery of the Batwoman. Now I could see where this one might not be everyone's favorite. I do understand. It wasn't bad. One of the ones I think could have been better But at the time, I wanted to watch some stuff with Kevin Conroy, and this is one of the many features that had Kevin Conroy. Batman and Harley Quinn. This movie is stupid fun, but at the same time, after watching some of the more serious stuff and not only dealing with the death of Kevin Conroy, but also the death of Jason David Frank, watching something that was a little more lighter in tone was more needed than I realized when I was watching this. Batman the Killing Joke. To this day, I don't have the best thoughts on this one, and they kind of still remain the same. Mark Hamill did his thing. As far as the rest of it goes, we'll just move on to the next one. Batman Assault on Arkham. I love this movie. This is so much fun. Batman doing Batman things. You got the Suicide Squad. I highly recommend checking this out if you have not watched it already. At the time of me recording this video, this could possibly be the last animated feature to feature Kevin Conroy voicing Batman, and that is Justice League versus the Fatal Five. Watching this, I really enjoyed it. It's got the Legion of Superheroes in there, but it was a bittersweet thing to watch knowing that this is most likely the final Kevin Conroy Batman appearance that we're getting. Justice League Action, Season 1 Part 1 and Season 1 Part 2. Alright. So, let me just clarify. No, this is not the same Justice League I grew up on. But, there's some pretty good episodes in here. There's one episode that's got a Batman Booster Gold team up. And you see Batman begin to show some appreciation towards Booster Gold of all characters. Not to mention, not often you see Space Cabbie getting heavily featured in something. Not a bad series. Probably not for everyone. But if you are a Justice League fan or, like myself, a DC fan, this is definitely worth checking out. Bedlam Season 1. I got this at my local Dollar Tree during the Black Friday movies they had. Since it only had 6 episodes, I thought I'd sit down and watch it. Pretty good. I had been told Season 2 sucks, so I haven't seen it. Plus, it doesn't feature the same cast. I personally don't know anything about Season 2, but Season 1 is worth watching. So, I'd have to double check to see where it is currently streaming at. Or if you're fortunate like I am, you can pick this up at Dollar Tree for $1.25. The Room. Not the crappy Tommy Wiseau movie. This one is a Shudder original. This one's one of those careful what you wish for sort of scenarios. I enjoyed it. It was pretty good. It wasn't scary compared to what you would normally get with a Shudder original. But overall, entertaining movie. Before I saw Wakanda Forever, I did have to go and watch, or in this case, rewatch, the first Black Panther movie. I have not gotten to do an MCU ranking video yet, but this movie, prior to and after rewatching it recently, still remains in my top 5 of favorite MCU movies. Yeah, there's a couple of things that aren't exactly comic book accurate, but you've got one of the best casts in the MCU, and you've got a really well-told story. The Punisher, the extended cut. Alright, so at the beginning of the year, I bought the Punisher Steelbook when it came out, the 4K Steelbook. So you're probably wondering, why am I showing a DVD when I have a 4K Steelbook? Well, the extended cut is only available on DVD, and I didn't get it until a few months ago. The additional story isn't bad, but the story that we got in the regular version was still pretty good. And this is coming from someone who does like this movie. So while I didn't have any issues with the extended cut, the stuff that was added wasn't as necessary as I think people realized it was, or in this case wasn't. Punisher Warzone. I spent money on this to get the 4K Steelbook, since I have the 4K Steelbook for the Thomas Jane movie, so I thought, might as well watch it since I just spent money on it. My thoughts are still the same on this. I am not a fan of this movie, and there's a part of me that is still upset with myself that I bought it. I don't know what else to tell y'all on that one. Battle of the Super Sons. This is the latest DC DTV to be released. You've got Jonathan Kent finding out that he is the son of Superman, and he has to team up with Robin because the Justice League and the Titans have been compromised. Once you get to the Robin Superboy team up, this is a fun watch. Unfortunately, it starts with Superman's origin story that we have seen millions of times already. DC, we know that Jor-El and Lara send him to Earth because Krypton's about to explode. We do not need to watch it again and again and again. Okay, rant done, but if they would have just gotten to the part where they just start with Jonathan realizing he has superpowers and that his dad is Superman, this would have probably been one of the most fun movies to watch. But the boring, unnecessary origin at the beginning of this does drag it a little bit. Speaking of constantly retelling Superman's origin story, DC League of Super Pets. Now the difference is, in this one you see Crypto try to get into the pod to join Kal-El on Earth. But again, we do not need another origin story for Superman. After rewatching this, I went back and rewatched my own review, and my thoughts are still the same. The beginning's kind of slow, but if you've got family or if you're a huge DC fan, then you're going to find some gems in this, because this thing had some Easter eggs that even I didn't realize when I watched it in theaters, and only discovered when I rewatched it after buying this. Marcel the Shell with Shoes On. I really enjoyed this movie. It is a nice feel-good movie. And rewatching it, once I had the physical release, my thoughts remain the same with this movie. It is good. It is a must-watch. If you don't have the money to get the A24 Shop exclusive, I believe it is on Prime or HBO Max. But I definitely recommend checking this movie out because it is worth watching. Deathgasm. I was wanting to watch this during the month of October. Unfortunately, I had so much other stuff I was watching that this fell into November, and because I haven't watched it recently, I was like, screw it, I'm still watching it. I've got to say, it is still fun, but the rewatch value does drop a little bit compared to the first time I watched it. If you're a horror fan, a horror comedy fan, you like rock music, more specifically metal, I highly recommend watching this, even if you only watch it once. I think it is still on Netflix, but I'm not 100% certain at the time of me recording this. I will try to remember to add that in the pinned comment down below. And finally, Mortal Kombat Legends Snowblind. Alright. Scorpion's Revenge is probably my favorite Mortal Kombat movie, live action or animation. Battle of the Realms I thought was good, but once they get to the third act, it felt like it went off the rails a little bit. Unfortunately, Snowblind does the same thing that Battle of the Realms did. It's good up until the third act, and things just go way off the rails. And I know I haven't done gaming like I used to, so I haven't really played the last two Mortal Kombat games, but I don't remember things being that off the rails. Overall, if you're a Mortal Kombat fan, still check it out because these animated movies definitely are better than any of the live action movies. And yes, you can quote me on that. I grew up with Mortal Kombat. I know what I'm saying before someone tries to say anything. But that is everything I watched during the month of November. I'll try to have it a little more variety for the month of December because my Christmas movie watching will be minimal. In fact, that video of what movies I'm planning to watch and my Christmas movie collection sort of video will be uploaded possibly this week. And that's going to do it for this one. If you are new to this channel, hit that subscribe button. You like what you see, leave a thumbs up. Comment down below, what have you watched during the month of November? What did you see in theaters? What did you see on streaming? What did you watch from your own personal collection? But that's going to do it for this one. Thank you all for watching and tune in next time.